Stop it! Damn it!
Oh, the bastard doing their job.
Clint, you do pick up a sourness in her demeanor.
Does she seem mad that we've interrupted her one-on-one time?
If you had to place it with what's the total?
25.
Do you have to take the reroll?
You have to, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. 25. Oh, you would almost get the feeling that she has a whole bunch of bitterness because she was just defeated at the God's Eye.
True. And I don't know if she cares about Valandros, but I believe that they were in some sort of cahoots.
Her alliances thwarted, her threat dispatched. Definitely some wounded ego.
And don't you forget it.
However, as she takes her leave, the heir of Augustine does remark, I owe you an apology, in truth.
Who does he say that to? Everyone?
To all of y'all. Last we met, I was so dead set on achieving my task. He ponders for a second. I did an unthinkable act. Your brother, your classmate, your compatriot, Halbjorn. It was wrong to attempt to make him into a prisoner, into a slave, when he was a warrior, through and through. I do not regret his death, but I do lament the way his life was taken.
We appreciate your consideration.
I know this here and now. You were invited under guest right, to which we will not be breaking.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Now then, I have a question for you. How do you want this all to end?
In what context, sir? Do you mean Augusta? Do you mean Regalna? Or do you mean the fate of the world?
Things have been set in motion that cannot be stopped now. You know that, I hope, at least.
Thoroughly.
So where does this end? What do you hope to achieve in resistance?
Speaking frankly, Your Majesty, I do feel at times we are petulant children flailing around against the world unknown. Stubbornly, maybe futilely. But it's not like we know any better. And we're certainly not ready to lay down and die.
He nods, and all those things make you commendable. You have the spirit of Augustine in you. That much is true. I see what my father sees in you.
He refers to it as a will to power. No.
That is precisely right.
Do you have your father's spirit?
I am prepared to see my goals accomplished, no matter the cost. Should it cost me my own life in the end, I will make that sacrifice. But I will see humanity pushed forward.
Forward in what direction?
Forward in progress.
And what does progress look like, Your Majesty? A created being like yourself?
If that's the way it leads, then I suppose so. The darkness, the fiends, the archfiends, they were never an evil to triumph over. The power that we can see is power that we have mishandled, in truth.
What is the right way to handle such beings? Ones that seem insidious and have their own agendas.
Adapt the parts of it that work, and discard those which are left behind. But necessity is the mother of all invention. And as long as there are safe havens of comfort, as long as there are ways in which people might grow lax and feel safe, they will never take the dangerous road ahead. They will never take the winding road up the mountain that leads to prosperity.
You are your father's son, indeed.
He taps 2 fingers to the railing in front of him. The walls must come down if humanity is to survive and to thrive. Not coddled to remnants of the past, remnants that never wanted us in the first place. We will do as we have always done. We will overcome adversity. We will meet each challenge with defiance. And we will overcome. Because that is what it means to be human.
No matter the cost. No matter how many lives are traded for it.
He thinks about that for a second. It is regrettable, but yes. Stagnation is a cruel disease.
So you would suffer triage and immediacy. Let's say 90% of humanity dies, so the 10% might live and evolve to a new path. A stronger one.
Correct. One where we do not fear the darkness and that which lingers at the edge of our nightmares. One that we conquer and overcome and harness for what it is, as we have always done. Do you embrace the wraps on your hands, as your allies embrace the steel at their hips?
When they're what keeps us safe from the enemy.
They're what keeps you soft.
You would throw yourself, all of humanity, at darkness's feet and say that you are wielding it. That is weakness. Call it humanity, but are you even human?
Do you fear the cold, Rohan of Shamash?
I do not.
Do you fear the heat?
I do not.
Why?
Because I have fought both.
And came out stronger the other side, precisely.
I did not become the fire. I did not freeze to ice. I did not become my enemy. I beat them.
And if that is the path forward, then that's the path forward. But we'll never know as long as there's safety around the other bend. As long as you can look back to a warm fire, you will not embrace the blizzard and overcome it.
Your Majesty, my apologies for interrupting. Augustus, Uriah, and all them said we were fighting on the same side of a war. Who are we warring with, then?
The eternal struggle, I suppose. To be is to fight to survive. But the archfiends are far beyond what most mortal could ever hope to overcome. But I believe those like my father can be born again. Those that can fight that fight on even footing, or together grow strong enough to overcome them. Neither of us want the fiends to take over this world.
No. But you're speaking of this evolution like it's a guarantee. This is, without evidence, conjecture, Your Highness. How do you know you're not just accelerating an extinction, where so few strong individuals are left, and even they too will succumb to time and fiendish influence?
That's a fair concern. It is fair. I give you that. But there was a time where we were a little more than amoebas struggling against a great ocean. Where we were placid things struggling to breathe. Where we crawled and dragged our face along the dirt until we learned to stand on our own feet. We learned how to use tools, we harnessed fire, we created stone and weapons and became mighty. And no matter what stood against us, we, the collective we, humanity, always overcame. That is our legacy. Whether you like it or you desire peace, we are conquerors. I know we will beat back the darkness, because we have always succeeded. He stands tall and just throws a hand out to you all. You all possess the will of humanity, the will to power.
This will is in our blood, the very structure of us, or is it something manipulated upon us by your father and by our former Grand Watcher?
There were a lot of stones moved into place for you, for all of you. As I'm sure you've came to realize.
Do we
But
see the entire balcony? Or is it just the
some of it. Yeah,
Okay.
you could see the. Yeah, it's meant that you could see the thrones from where you're at.
Gotcha. Just Quinn's clocking this lady. He's not saying anything. He's clocking her though.
Well,
Yep.
So I have said what I aim to achieve. What is it you and your people hope to achieve?
We're rather mortal beings, Your Highness. So we think a bit more in the short term. Our most immediate problem is Rigalda, who, if you don't already know, is quite ready to bring down every single plan you have. And having sat next to him for about 15 minutes, I do thoroughly believe he has the capability.
You sat near him for 15 minutes.
An uncomfortable 15 minutes.
Then
But
you
what
have
a
my
necessity.
condolences.
Good to know you have a sense of humor, Your Majesty.
We owe a lot to our pluripotent ancestor. But time has passed him by. We have evolved and adapted beyond him.
He has similar sentiment.
Powerful though he may be, he is a simple thing. And his own lascivious nature will be his downfall.
Maybe. But by your own confession now, King Regent, a lot of stones were moved to get us here in the right place. Surely at this point, you or... looks at Leona, someone in your stead, turns his attention to the unknown figure, knows that we're not going to let him just waltz around doing as he wants. For all the stones you put into place, is it worth sacrificing us at the very end? Right before apocalypse.
I would hope not to lose any of you. But I must insist. How do you see this ending?
And we're free to leave no matter our answer? By right of guesthood?
You have guessed right, I would not betray such a thing. It would be ill-fitting.
I can only speak for myself. I believe Rohan Shamash has said his piece.
he nods.
Going to turn and scan across everyone else. What do they have to say?
Nothing in particular.
Lucian knows. You see, he's like, he doesn't like this motherfucker.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this whole situation is beyond everything. Just like
You
there's no comment to add.
Lucian's ready to throw anything.
You see Lucky have his arms crossed, sort of tapping his fingers as you look at him. Oh, I was probably just going to chill out. Probably not going to do much of anything. Just see where the world takes itself, you know?
And no one believed him.
And no one believed him.
Well then, seeing as I am the last remaining speaker, I believe, Your Majesty, that our civil war, if you were to call it that, will continue. The light has imbued itself in us, and is not so easily scoured, as Rohan thoroughly proves. It is deeply ingrained in us, a culture, like the honor that you hearken to. A culture deeply revered. The war will continue, and at the end of it, last man standing gets to determine the path of humanity. I don't deny that you have significant advantage, even going so far as to have a hidden queen up your sleeve. He'll say, looking at the unknown person.
He looks over. Would you like an introduction?
If her ladyship doesn't mind.
Please. He holds out a hand as she steps forward. As she does. Oh, definitely Flora.
Oh,
Bradford, what favorite enemies do you have?
I think type 2. That's probably it. I don't know. Let me check.
Oh yeah, no, that too. Like 2 number-wise, not type 2.
you have 2 favorite enemies.
Oh, I would have just picked it. Oh, well, I didn't pick one.
Well,
Sure. Type 2 and type 5. Let's go with that.
okay. You definitely pick up vampiric traits from this woman.
Big yike.
Just one.
Replace one of the Red Queen vibes.
But worse, Bradford. You pick up there's something else there.
I don't have any resources left to try and push further than that. Yeah,
She has a
I
dragon's
am
tail.
fully tapped, guy. I've been tapped since like basically the wolf fight.
Fuck! You have skills you can roll.
Yeah, I'll allow like a wisdom arcana.
That's fitting. It'll just be this. Actually, it would just be a straight wisdom check then. Bop.
You motherfucker.
He's been rolling
Or-
absolute shit all night, actually.
There's definitely something like. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't have any proper comment.
19? Okay. 19 is enough. You detect the same presence you get off Aurelia and Islin, interwoven with the vampiric quality she has.
No!
I mean, we kind of
Biologic.
already knew she was a sister of light. That's just the confirmation for the characters.
I know.
By that logic, that means she could probably tap someone's for their blood and gain spell slots back.
Probably a lot more than that. She could probably suck out like blood, soul, and everything else.
Something, something, suck you dry. Something, something, bonk.
Soul marrow.
Stop.
I